Since 1985, we have empowered students to live the life they want. The Louisiana Center for the Blind presents Alumni Reflections.
I worked for the airlines for 27 years, and I drove. I had my pilot's license, not commercial, but I was a private pilot. And my brother, my dad flew in the Air Force. My brother flies for United, and so I was in aviation. Then my eyesight started slowly declining, and things seemed to start unraveling, and it was getting harder and harder to do things. I was a dispatcher for the airlines, and I talked with somebody. And they said, "Well, just check in with your local, the Office of the Blind." So I checked in with them, and I was like, I need something. I need, my eyesight's declining, and I don't know if I need Braille, if I need, I don't know what I need. I need something because my eyesight's declining, and it's going to be, I have RP, retinitis pigmentosa, which is degenerative. So I checked in with there, and actually when I checked in, there was a woman there that taught Braille that actually called me and said, she called me a little bit later that day, and she called me and she said she had gone to Louisiana Center for the Blind few years back, and she called me and she said, "You really need to look into Louisiana Center for the Blind. You need to call Pam Allen, and it's going to give you the confidence you need." And that was the thing that got me, because I was losing confidence pretty quick as far as how I was, I was married and have 5 girls, and we went biking all the time. We cooked all the time. My wife and I built our own house together years before. We bought 10 acres of land. We actually stick built the house ourselves. We designed it ourselves, drew it up on plans, had it blueprinted and all that, and we built it ourselves. literally built it ourselves. We're general contractor and all that, so all that was starting to slip away and unravel, and so yeah, that's where Louisiana Center came in. When that woman started saying you'd get your confidence back, it was a big thing for me. I guess as far as fears, I wasn't quite sure what I was getting into. But talking to him, I guess there was hope. I climbed on the midnight bus out of Louisville, and I was supposed to be 18 hours later. I was supposed to be in Ruston, and I didn't quite know what to expect, what was going on. But here we were, ready for the adventure. The guy who was my mentor, he started telling me about different things, and he had great things. He had already been in the program, I think like 5 or 6 months, which is one of the great things about the program is they hook everybody up with a mentor. So you're always working with somebody that's been there a while, and he worked for the same airline I did. He knew a lot of what I was going through. He was already going through it, so that was a great thing, was I knew somebody was already there. They were in the same company I was, and so yeah, it worked out really well. Somebody was asking me a day about an aha moment, and we got that. I know there was a couple of us that started a couple weeks apart, and we were actually talking one day. It was kind of neat because we were going along, and there's on the way from the school from the apartments up to the school, there's a street called Memorial, and there's a telephone pole off to the left. And when you get going along, after it was about 2 weeks into it, I got up to Memorial going up to school, I could tell that telephone pole off to my left. You could sense it, or that echolocation. And then on the other side, there's a subdivision. There's a sign that's about, I don't know, about shoulder height, and it's a small sign, and you can actually hear that off to your right when you go by that thing. So we're all like, oh yeah, I could tell that. I could sense that, we were going by, or I could hear that when I was going by. It was one of those kind of aha moments. Three months in the kitchen, you're doing more things, you're cooking more things, and travel routes, you're branching out and spreading out a little bit more. You start out just in the hallways, and then you work on the sidewalks out front, and then you start looking for addresses and up in the city, and getting a bit more confident crossing streets, because the first time you start crossing streets, it gets a little scary, and then it's a little less scary, and you get your clues, and yeah, just getting more confident about things. I wanted to go to college. I was going to go to college. I had to get back into I wanted to get back into the workforce, so I was going to take the college route. So that's what they had me do, was during technology. Once I learned the basic stuff as far as how to do letters, how to do all that, then the project was that I had to research 3 different schools that I was going to go to. One was University of Louisville, Spalding, and then University of Kentucky. I do 3 different schools, had to figure out what major I wanted, and then I had to figure out what courses that were involved in that major. So there was all that research, which was actually really good, because I ended up going to U of L. I ended up taking, a bachelor in business administration, and I got emphasis in management with a minor in finance. My biggest thing is, of course, LCB is just phenomenal, but do as much as you can, take in as much as you can. Again, I got involved in the play, I got involved in taking a college course. There's, again, as much or as little as you want to do there. There's stuff on the weekends. A lot of people get together, some of the students, some of the instructors will, well, we're going over to West Monroe, we're going to go to the mall, we're going to go to the movies, we're going to go get something to eat, we're going to go to Shreveport to, World Market, we're going to, stop at the Indian place on the way home. You can go if you want or if you don't want, or, there's just so many things going on down there. The LCB family and all that, that's real. That's not a rhetorical saying. That's very real. I mean, calling them up and, knowing you get the support and everything, and it's a great atmosphere down there. LCB is, right up there as far as the accomplishments that I've done in my life.
Thank you for watching. For more information on how you can live the life you want, visit our website at www.louisianacenter.org or call us at 1-800-234-4166.